Hi everyone, Ian from Bristol Ground School here. So far, this Cockpit Insights series of videos has aimed to show what life could be like if you join an airline. And airline flying is perhaps the most common destination for our students here at BGS and also for our prospective students. This video will be a little bit shorter than usual because I want to just invite you to write in with questions about life in the airlines that you feel I might be able to answer. You can either contact BGS by email or social media, or you could leave a question in the comments section for this video. So as an example question, I got recently from one of our BGS students. They asked me whether I used to get fed during the day when I was at work and what the food was like. Well, it's a good question because it's a controversial question. The short answer is yes, we did get crew food. But the controversy was that many pilots would have preferred, and the cabin crew as well, would have preferred to have an increase in their salary rather than have the crew food provision. Not every airline provides food for crew members, so I consider myself lucky that we did get food, even if it wasn't the most nutritional food you could hope for. And for many people it wasn't really sufficient to sustain them for a 10 or 11 hour duty. But you had to eat. And it wasn't always possible to bring your own food, especially if you're staying over in a hotel. So what was it like? Well, for an early duty, there'd be breakfast, a choice of cereal, which really didn't go very far. For example, you got one single Weetabix or a small packet of muesli. There was a pastry selection, and I'm talking mini pastries. Again, small pain au chocolat, small croissant, mouth bite, fun size almost. Or a cup breakfast of bacon, beans, mushrooms, scrambled egg and so on. There was usually a small pot of juice and a bread roll, though I don't think it was with all options, I can't quite remember. Now, I say options, there'd only be options for some people because there'd only be one crew meal per crew member. So if we were to stick to the hierarchy of crew status, if you like, then the captain would have the first choice, followed by the first officer, then the senior cabin crew member, which left the junior cabin crew with the least popular options to fight over. But in reality, that rarely happened. Most pilots I knew offered first choice to the cabin crew, and the captain took what was left. So whichever way around you played it, then it was only the first couple of people who would get the choice and everybody else would get what other people didn't want. It was also common for crew members, particularly cabin crew, to bring their own food and not bother at all with the crew food, which is probably wise. The selections weren't the healthiest or most filling offerings, and actually sometimes we found that the crew food hadn't been loaded at all. If you didn't bring your own, then you'd have no food, or you'd have to take passenger food. But then again, in some cases we found the passenger food hadn't been loaded either. So someone would end up volunteering to run into the terminal during a turnaround and get some food. There were even occasions when we radioed ahead to the ground handler prior to landing and ordered some local specialities. So for example, I've ordered pizza going into Naples. Going into Portugal, I've ordered those little Christmas cakes, just as a treat really, obviously not to fill you up for a day, but the little custard tarts that they have in Portugal, which are delicious. And even one time, going to Turkey, we ordered some kebabs, but they didn't arrive. We got burgers instead for some reason. So on a long day, you could get sandwiches and perhaps a snack pack of fruit, crisps and chocolate bars. The fruit was nearly always bruised apples and no one ate them. There was plenty of bottled water and of course tea and coffee. Some airlines didn't provide anything for the crew, and I've seen with some airlines passengers, crew members having to take empty bottles through security and then fill them up with drinkable water on the other side for their day. So to answer the question, yes, I got crew food, and no, it wasn't particularly good. But you had to eat. For late duties, I usually took my own food. At home we would cook an extra meal each day, and then I'd freeze that extra meal and use it for when I was on lates. So that's it. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll try our best to answer some of them in the next video. That's it for now though. Bye.